So let's slow it down a little bit. Let's go to 120 beats per minute. We're a little slower. Here's 90. And I want to demonstrate for a moment here. There's so many ways to do this, but adding percussion. So you're going to hear in some of the samples we check out in a moment, but you're going to hear across all types of genres other percussion being added to this. And a common one is 16-note tambourines like this. Like that. So I'm going to play at 90. Or here, you know, I'll just play on my own for a minute, but instead of playing the hi-hat or the ride, I'm going to play the same thing on the tambo. We'll start with the metronome, and then we'll turn it off.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then for the crash,
3, 4.
you just hit a crash cymbal.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Eighth note, left foot.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe express the left
1,
foot more with the
2,
splashes.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
So that's one way, you know, no matter what the tempo is. You can even hit the hi-hat. A lot you can do with it. So that's one option. Another option is, and we can combine these things, another one is just put a normal tambourine on your hi-hat. So any of the ideas you're doing with the left foot, whether you're playing with the tambo stick or not, you get this. Or just upping. So that's one way, you know, maybe go double tambo. When you're playing tambo, you can do crashes with your left hand. The other thing I like to do, since I'm not playing the hi-hat with my right stick, whenever, let's say I move the tambourine here, I like to sometimes play some of those ghost notes up on the hi-hat like this. It's just another idea that popped into my head. And And that's really cool because without even trying, if you're doing that, there's going to be some 16th note values where it's open. So you can get some open hi-hats without even trying. So let's see what I improvise here. 1, 2, 3. There's a lot you could do with it. So that's a little point of inspiration for you there. Okay, what else can you vary here? You know, let's say we just kind of do everything here. Do that. Another thing is put a splash on your snare. You know, let's go back in time to 2005 when everyone started doing this. So now we've gone from a normal snare tone here to this. And I'm not hitting the splash. It's a 6-inch Zildjian Ovidus A Custom. So now we get that. So right? So automatically, totally different vibe. And then let's see, what else can we do? You know, then you add your tambourine in your right hand. Single note combos, but you could add other stuff, but just kind of grooving with it for a minute, and then we'll check out how this sounds on a couple different tempos. Then we'll listen to some songs this is sampled in, and we'll wrap up. So here is kind of the same tempo with some extra improvs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one note here, you know, sometimes I'm changing it more often than I actually might in an actual song. But, you know, we're demonstrating here, so that's what's going on there. A little quicker, you know, same orchestrations and stuff, but just a lot quicker. Let's say we're in a jungle drum and bass thing. You know, let's just so you can hear the tempo. Let's pick one here. Let's say we're at 150.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
All right, that vibe. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
let's try around there. Let's see if I keep up with it.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
And you want to play around with how you shake the tambo? I can go a little faster this way. Let's try that.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
A quick note on tambourine technique. If you play one of these tambourines, this is an LP one. If you play it sideways like this with the jingles vertical, you get kind of a more legato sound, a little more open, kind of a wider tone. You know, maybe we're over on the side snare and we've decided that we want it to be a big swampy groove, you know. 1, 2, 3. So maybe we end up with that. So let's see here. Maybe just one more variation at a medium tempo. You can also play on the cymbals. So I'll just kind of combine everything, and then we will check out some examples. This is sampled in 1, 2, 3, 4. So those vibes. So real quick, let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I think that's pretty much all the variations. You know, you can also take it kind of one more of the modern sound, playing a bell. The cool thing there is maybe you combine different parts of what we're playing here and maybe play the ghost notes on the hi-hat. So you get some different sounds and make it sound totally different. Then do that upbeat hi-hat we were doing and you get some cool ideas. Or some rhythms in the right hand. Very cool. So I think that's about everything. There's other ways to vary it, but just thinking through here before we start to wrap up, let's, here we go, finding my cursor here. Yeah, that's kind of everything. So that gives you quite a bit to work on. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting there, but what